This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 7th day of May in the year 2020. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here is what we're tracking tonight. The Guyana Elections Commission has made a decision that it will begin a tabulation of all votes recounted daily. The decision came out of a meeting of the Elections Commission this afternoon. The daily tabulation exercise will begin at 5 p.m. and end at 6:30 p.m. every day, according to the Public Relations Officer Yolanda Ward. Ms. Ward explained this afternoon that there will not be an amendment of the order to allow the daily tabulation, since at the end of the various regions, the full process will be completed, as everything will be examined again. Additionally, it was revealed that the observations for each ballot box, based on the observation report from the workstations, will be recorded during the tabulation. The recount order caters for a tabulation exercise to be completed following the recount for each region. Earlier today, Ms. Ward explained that the political parties had requested the continuous tabulation exercise. All of the political parties and observers will have representatives in the tabulation room at the Recount Center.
Basically, what the order dictates is that the tabulation exercise will be done at the end of every region. So you look at the order, that is what the order states. What is supposed to happen is a simultaneous process in terms of during that exercise, there's a screen that will project the statements of recount and a screen with an Excel file that will do the actual inputting and tabulation. But that's what the order speaks to. They're party agents that were assigned specifically for the tabulation exercise. And so those persons are present in the tabulation center.
Meanwhile, just after the start of the recount this morning, a candidate and agent for the APNU-AFC, Daniel Seram, filed a complaint after he reportedly walked into the tabulation room and saw some agents from the other party, the PPP, talking to one of the GCOM tabulation staffers. He described what he saw as a secret meeting, since according to him, any issue or questions related to the tabulation exercise that needs to be clarified with GCOM are to be done in front of all the political parties.
I was the first coalition rep to enter the tabulation room at exactly 8 a.m. this morning. On my arrival into the room, I saw it was myself along with some ancillary GCOM staff, along with the two senior GCOM technical personnel, which was the IT supervisor and his deputy. They were engaged in a meeting with 4 PPP personnel, small meeting. 2 of which of the PPP personnel that I recognized were Frank Anthony and Cesar Rankin. When I entered the room, I said I didn't know that there was a very early morning meeting and that I wasn't invited. They said, no, this is not a meeting. So I said, what is it then? Have you begun the day's activities? No, they're just asking questions. I told the IT supervisor that if questions are to be asked, they're to be asked in an open manner and not by one political party alone.
But PPP candidate and agent Dr. Frank Anthony denied that there was any secret meeting.
I don't know what's secret about having maybe about 15 or 20 people in a room. These are all the observers. And I standing and asking, like how we are talking here, and maybe even farther away, asking the head of the IT, when are you going to start the tabulation? So that was my first question. When are you starting the tabulation this morning? And then he gave to me the answer that he's awaiting the instructions from the CEO. So I don't know what is secret about that. And then the second question that I asked him is, we understand that yesterday's broadcast, when you were doing those 6 SORs, that our questions that we were asking was not being broadcast on air. And he said that they would have to fix that. That's it. I don't know what's secret about that, because every single person who was in the room can hear me asking the questions and also hear the response.
The recount of votes will continue tomorrow. More news coming up in a moment.
GBTI is your Guyanese bank, a bank that understands every customer's unique needs, opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. At GBTI, we see you for you. Whether you're buying a new home or car, planning your next vacation or retirement, saving for your child's future, or whether you're ready to take that bold step of investing in your dream business idea, we are with you every step of the way. We hear your stories and watch you focus on your dreams as we share your aspirations. We are more than just banking. We are a family. We are part of your community. Our commitment extends way beyond the walls of our branches and is demonstrated every day in the opportunities we provide to our individual and business customers. The support, time, and commitment we give back to communities across Guyana to help improve the lives of our Guyanese families. Because we see Guyana through your eyes.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyot Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyot's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
We all want to stay in touch, right? Now, even more than ever before. So to keep your connection strong, GTT is going 2 for 2. Combine GTT mobile and home internet services and we'll give you 2 gigs of free mobile data each month. With 2 GTT services, you're fully connected at home and on the go. Visit us online at gtt.co.gy/2for2 to learn more and start doing more with 2 for 2 from GTT. Stay safe, stay strong, Guyana. We're in this together.
The following is an important message from the Ministry of Public Health. The National Public Health Reference Laboratory is the only authorized facility with the capacity to test for novel coronavirus or COVID-19. The laboratory provides the specific procedures for the collection of samples and can also request for testing to be done. Persons who need to be tested can fall within the following categories: those with acute respiratory illness, persons with a travel history to countries reporting local transmission, and persons who have been in contact with confirmed cases, along with other clinical outlines. The Ministry of Public Health has a hotline to provide information on the coronavirus. The public can call 227-4986, extension 215, or 624-3067.
Welcome back. A resident of the Pams geriatric home has died from the coronavirus. The man, who is believed to have been in his 80s, was admitted to the Georgetown Hospital last week after becoming ill at the Brigham Institute. Based on his symptoms, a coronavirus test was conducted and the result came back positive. He passed away earlier this week. Once the geriatric home was informed of the positive result, a number of staff members and other persons who may have been in contact with the deceased were tested and quarantined. Director of Social Services at the Ministry of Social Protection, Wentworth Tanner, told News Source today that the Pams has further strengthened its sanitization and other guidelines to further protect the other residents and staff members.
A team was assembled and a team went down to the Pams yesterday. They did primary and secondary tracing in terms of persons who would have made contact with the deceased. Those persons were basically placed into quarantine. Those persons were to be tested today. I'm still to confirm that because I have not made contact with them for the afternoon, but we've gotten all assurances that those persons will be tested today and of course will remain in quarantine for the next 14 days.
There are currently 194 residents in the Pams geriatric home. It was explained that there are staff members who use public transportation to get to work and are screened before they begin duty for the day. Mr. Tanner said the Pams has now increased screening of staff members to twice per day.
It is of concern to us. We have intensified our screening to also include to be more stringent, that we do it twice a day rather than once a day that we were previously doing it, so that we can improve the chances of being able to identify anyone who would have contracted this illness.
The man who passed away was housed in a unit that caters only for bedridden residents. There are 7 other units where other residents are housed.
They are separated on 8 different wards. This particular ward is a ward that is that is assigned to persons who are immobile, to those persons who are mostly those persons who are bedridden, are in the ward that the gentleman who passed away was residing in.
Meanwhile, Mr. Tanner also shot down reports on social media that staff members of the Pams were not being provided with sufficient protective gear. He said he has seen the complaint on social media and it is simply untrue. The Director of Social Services explained that staff members are provided with 4 masks and other protective gear at the start of every shift. He noted that steps will continue to ensure the residents of the facility are safe. The COVID-19 emergency order prohibits visits to the Pams geriatric home and other senior facilities across the country. With neighboring Brazil recording more than 107,000 cases of the coronavirus, authorities in Guyana have issued a new warning for residents of the bordering communities in Region 9. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Shamdio Prasad said Region 9 residents need to be extremely vigilant at this time.
I want to draw your attention to Brazil, which has 107,780 cases with 7,321 deaths. For Guyana, this simply means that our bordering regions with Brazil are at additional risk of contracting the coronavirus disease. So all residents, especially of Region 9, are asked to be extremely vigilant and comply with all the control measures.
While the official border crossings with Brazil have been closed, some residents from Letem have been making their way across to the neighboring country to do shopping and job searching. The authorities in both Guyana and Brazil are worried about that and are taking steps to clamp down on the illegal crossings. Meanwhile, the total number of recorded coronavirus cases in Guyana remains at 93, with no new cases recorded for a second straight day. The Chief Medical Officer revealed today that there are now 34 total recoveries.
Today, in our country, we are reporting no new cases. An additional 22 tests were done, bringing the total numbers of persons tested to 736, with a total number of confirmed cases remaining at 93. The number of persons recovered thus far has increased to 34, and our COVID-19 deaths remain at 10. 643 persons have tested negative so far. There are 3 persons in our COVID-19 ICU, 6 in our institutional quarantine, and 49 in isolation.
Dr. Prasad explained today that of all the positive cases, children account for 5.4%, adults represent 82%, and the elderly 12.6%. He said even though 52% of the confirmed cases were males, men also account for 80% of the COVID-19 deaths in Guyana.
Of all positive cases, children account for 5.4%, adults 82%, and the elderly 12.6%. Even though 52% of our confirmed cases were males, they accounted for 80% of the COVID-19 deaths in Guyana.
The Public Health Ministry is encouraging persons who may have symptoms of the coronavirus to call the hotline or visit one of the mobile sites to have their tests done. Back to the world of politics, with the recount of votes continuing for a second day today. General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Barbados Jagdeo, is not impressed with the pace of the process. During the first day of the recount, 25 boxes were completed at the 10 workstations. Additional boxes have been completed on the second day. But during an online statement, Mr. Jagdeo said if the slow pace continues, he will seek a meeting with the Guyana Elections Commission on the issue.
If they keep going at this pace, we will be there forever, and that is their objective. We'll be at the convention center until the next elections. So this is one issue. Once today is done and we see how many boxes are recounted, then we'll have to talk to the chair, because she had said 25 days and that she giving assurances to many people in many meetings that she was hoping that it will be done before the 25 days. That she wanted to revise it downwards. Well, the pace at which it's going, that's not going to happen.
Mr. Jagdio said he is concerned that there may be efforts to slow the process. He noted that the Elections Commission chairperson had stated that she would have reviewed the 25-day timeline with the possibility of reducing it. Noting the current pace of the recount, Mr. Jagdio said that appears unlikely. The General Secretary of the PPP said his party wants a fast and transparent recount, and he's hoping that a live stream of the recount could be improved.
But right now we're keeping a focus on the transparency of it. We want the live stream to mean something so that anybody in Guyana, everybody could listen in and see who is becoming ridiculous and who is not, which party is blocking the recount. So we want that improved.
Many of the party agents who have been part of the recount so far have indicated that while the recount has been moving slow in some instances, the pace is likely to be increased as the process becomes clearer to all involved. Still in the world of politics, the APNU-AFC executive member and party agent for the recount, Joe Harmon, wants the People's Progressive Party Civic to state publicly that it will accept the declared results of the recount.
It seems as if what they are doing, they are gathering information for election to go to court. That is what they are doing. They are gathering information to go to court. We are saying, look, this is a final process. This is really where it ends. The Guyanese people have had enough since March the 2nd. This is already May the 7th, and you can't have a conclusion to your elections. And I'm saying is that it is time the PPP come out and commit to accept the results of this recount. They must say so to the Guyanese people and don't keep them in suspense again.
During an interview carried on the APNU-AFC's official Facebook page today, Mr. Harmon said the coalition is fully behind the recount process and he believes it will bring out interesting revelations.
But this recount is going to expose the PPP for what it is. A party of fraud. It will expose them. And all of these bogus statements, the polls they have parading all around the world, that, oh, we got this and we got that, it will demonstrate that it was not true. And therefore, they have to now explain to the world, why is it that you said this? And you have the entire international community saying, oh, that this is so and that is so and that is not so.
Harmon said from the looks of it, the opposition PPP is contemplating a move to the court to throw the recount off track. The APNU-AFC has reported that it intends to provide information to the Guyana Elections Commission with some of the discrepancies that it has noticed during the recount. The party believes the commission will have to address those issues. The PPP has accused the APNU-AFC of attempting to slow down and stall the recount process. General Secretary Barra Jagdio has already stated that he intends to seek a meeting with the Elections Commission on the issue. On the police blotter, the Guyana Police Force has reported that 11 of the 12 juveniles who escaped from the juvenile detention center in Sophia 2 days ago have been recaptured and are now back in custody. They could now face an additional charge of escaping from lawful custody. The one teen who remains on the run is 17 years old and he is facing a murder charge in the court. He's a Georgetown resident and had been arrested and charged in connection with a murder in Leopold Street. While not providing the teenager's name or a photograph of him, the Guyana Police Force is hoping that those persons who may know him and may know about his whereabouts would contact the nearest police station. Across the region is coming up next.
Wondering how you can access free learning materials for your children? Parents and guardians, please visit the Ministry of Education's website at www.education.gov.gy to access textbooks, past papers, and practice tests to keep your child engaged in continuous learning. When you have accessed the site, go to the Students tab, wait for a second, and choose the appropriate option. You now have access to the resources you need. You are encouraged to take advantage of this opportunity as we strive to provide the best education for the nation's children. A message from the Ministry of Education.
They've made a positive impact on the heavy-duty transportation industry in Guyana since they've arrived. Guyanese are amazed at their power, durability, efficiency, and superior handling capabilities. These are brand new trucks, manufactured in partnership with German, Italian, and French companies. They have a powerful reputation for operating under very adverse Guyanese conditions and come with full after-sales service and spare parts. They're the most sought-after trucks today, with over 500 units in Guyana, and they're available in over 100 countries, including South America and the Caribbean. Caribbean. Be smart. Buy brand new ST Howo trucks today. Call 608-4998 and arrange for an inspection at ST Truck Guyana Incorporated, Block B, Public Road, Covenant, East Bank, Demerara.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Falls, a trademark of China's Zhanghao Incorporated, located at Land of Cane in East Bank, Demerara, was incorporated in April of 2013, with over $10 billion Guyana dollars invested in a state-of-the-art 100,000 barrel fuel storage facility, a modern service station, an office complex, and a modern wharf that can berth international vessels. Having no association with any other fuel company, Falls imports its own fuel, which meets quality specifications, has all the legal permits, and is in compliance with international requirements. Its bulk facility can load 8 trucks simultaneously at a rate of 1,000 liters per minute, while the service station can service 12 cars at a time using computerized fuel pumps, which can facilitate the use of ATM cards. Through its professional team of mostly Guyanese, Falls wholesales and retails fuels to the public, including farmers and miners, and will continue to positively contribute to Guyana by providing quality products, service, and attractive prices. Try Falls today for all your fuel needs.
The following is an important message from the Ministry of Public Health. When should you use a face mask? A medical mask is not required for members of the public who do not have respiratory illness symptoms. Wear a mask if you are coughing or sneezing constantly. For healthy people, wear a mask only if you are caring for a person suspected to have COVID-19. Masks are only effective when used in combination with frequent hand cleaning with alcohol-based hand rubs, sanitizers, or washing with soap and water. If you wear a mask, dispose of it properly. The Ministry of Public Health has a hotline to provide information on the coronavirus. Members of the public can call 227-4986 or 624-3067.
Across the region right now, the United Nations is helping Barbados and several other small island developing states to respond positively to the shocks created by the COVID-19 pandemic. A multi-sectoral response plan valued at $29.7 million was rolled out yesterday by the UN's resident coordinator for the Eastern Caribbean. The official said the time was right for the UN to play the part of a global development partner, especially since the coronavirus had wreaked havoc in several small island developing states in this part of the world, and shocks will be paid attention to at this time of the year with the hurricane season upcoming. In neighboring Venezuela, Venezuela's state TV has shown a video of a U.S. citizen apparently confessing to plotting the overthrow of President Nicolas Maduro and to take him to the U.S. Luke Denman is one of 13 people arrested over the weekend. Venezuela says they are mercenaries whose armed incursion was foiled. Mr. Maduro has often accused U.S. President Donald Trump of trying to invade the country and overthrow him. Mr. Trump earlier this week denied any U.S. involvement. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has said the U.S. government will use every tool to secure the return of the Americans. In the video, the 34-year-old man appeared to explain that he was hired to train Venezuelans in Colombia before returning to Caracas and taking control of an airport to allow Mr. Maduro to be taken out of the country. And finally tonight, international news. Flooding as a result of recent heavy rains has killed more than 260 people across East Africa. Kenya has been the hardest hit, with the government recording 194 deaths. In Rwanda, 55 people have died and floods have killed 16 in Somalia. In Uganda, high flood waters have trapped an estimated 200 patients inside the hospital. East African countries have also been hit hard by a locust invasion and COVID-19. The authorities in Kenya have told people in some of the affected areas to move away from potential danger. The water has also washed away 8,000 acres of crops and some vital infrastructure, the government has said. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.